Of course I'm not gonna be talking about Crow Country in this vid. What do you take me for, a pleb? Everyone knows about this little gem, and you're here to look at some really obscure survival horror games. Greetings people, FiOth here, and in this video I will be suggesting 5 lost or unknown survival horror gems that are not ancient in their origin, pretty new productions, but no one seems to know about. Out of all these 5, only one's a couple of years old and another can be considered something like a cult classic already, but in the grander scheme of things, they're not your Resident Evils or your Silent Hills. These are really small productions by tiny studios or single devs that are really worthy of your attention. Here of course you can see one of the most renowned games of the genre to come out in recent memory, Fantastic Crow Country, and as I'm running the disclaimer I will also be showing you a little bit of this, Signalis, one of my favorite games of all time. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, guys, please have a look at this. This is the amount of people watching my vids who are subscribed in contrast to those who aren't subscribed. So if you enjoy the content, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, very crucial to be able to discover upcoming pieces of content. And to give you an example of the quality of the work, I will be placing cards on all the segments related to each and every game where I will show you the streams I've done, covering them live and discussing my findings and opinions with the people watching. Thank you very much for your consideration. Without further ado, let's get to it. I'm gonna be starting with Them and Us, a game that came out about 2 years ago, developed by Tendo Games. It's one of those projects where the developer kinda bit on more than they could chew. The game allows you to play fixed cameras, over the shoulder, pretty much any way you want, old school or modern. It's an expansive adventure that will hold your attention for around 8 hours. The game overall plays really well. It was developed in UDK, if you remember that piece of software from back in the day. It's somewhere between Unreal Engine 3 and 4. And you will be fighting zombies, dogs, and later on some otherworldly creatures. It is competently put together, looks fine and plays smoothly, but has issues with its pacing and some of the puzzles. At first glance you look at this and you're like, well, this looks like heaven for a person like me who loves survival horror, but in reality some of the things that are done here are the product of the game going through many iterations, as it came out of early access and then with various updates they changed things and optimized other things. So progress wise there will be moments where you will feel like the proceedings don't make much sense. The game is of course complete at this point, it can be enjoyed from start to finish, and it's often on sale, so you should definitely give it a go. Next we have You Will Die Here Tonight. This actually almost made my list in 2023 for the top 10 games I played that year. It is a super weird one. It's paying homage to the original Resident Evil 1 like you wouldn't believe, and it is a combination of top-down exploration with first-person 3D shooting. The scenario in this is bonkers, the puzzles are intelligent, there are a lot of traps, your own characters, because you're leading an entire squad of them, one after another, if you lose them can die, and you will find them zombified in the rooms where they perished. It is super well put together, super inspired, it does something quite unique, and it is extremely affordable as you could probably imagine. Trust me on this guys, it looks kinda niche, but You Will Die Here Tonight is a fantastic game no one should miss. Next one's a game I found by sheer chance, Connection. The Nightmare Within draws its inspirations from, you guessed it, The Evil Within. In this game you take the role of Officer Stone, the chaddest of chads. I'm not gonna spoil while I'm saying this, as soon as you take a close look at this dude's face you will know, and I am kidding you not guys, this game does nothing wrong. The puzzles are on point, the combat's on point, you can play with fixed cameras and tank controls, you can play over the shoulder. It even understands proper gun logic in the sense that, you know, pistols are not the only guns that use 9mm ammo, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's around 4 hours long, very affordable, very good atmosphere, and an interesting premise that is nothing original per se, but gets the job done. They added multiple endings, achievements, and other goodies. You can sadly only play this on Steam, but trust me, it's a very safe investment if you like the genre, and you will not be disappointed. Have a look at this when you get the chance, and you can thank me later. Don't even know where to start with this one. This is a single dev project created in Unreal Engine 4, as traditional as it gets. Fixed camera, pre-rendered backgrounds, tank controls. You're following the steps of a police officer looking for her sister in the titular mute house, a manor very akin to Resident Evil 1. And I swear, people, I played this from start to finish in one sitting on stream. There was only one instance when I got a bit frustrated because of a camera placement. I couldn't see exactly where I needed to go, but we're talking genuinely thick atmosphere and an enemy at some point that'll make your skin crawl. This is a fantastic first attempt by this super talented person, and I genuinely hope they continue building upon this IP or create something completely original, because the Mute House will become a cult classic. There's no two ways about this. Once you've gotten your hands on this and finish it, you will be scratching your head wondering how the fuck do big companies keep screwing survival horror up whilst a single person was able to deliver a product of such quality. I left Hello Buddy for last because it's already considered a cult phenomenon. This PlayStation 2 era looking survival horror game is a fantastic trip down memory lane. It looks the part, it plays the part, has some excellent puzzles. It's a bit front-loaded, meaning that most of the most interesting aspects of the game are showcased quite early, but it never misses a step, doesn't bog you down in needless combat more than it has to, has very thick atmosphere, and an enshrouding mystery that will keep you guessing until the very end. There's some pretty spot-on social commentary here about the working class and how people are being treated by corporations. Very contemporary if you ask me, and was again developed by a single person. Headwear Games has been around for longer than the rest of these studios. They also released Chasing Static a while back, another game that is considered a cult classic. Hello Buddy is definitely worthy of your time, peeps. Have a look at it, especially if you consider the PlayStation 2 era of survival horror the peak of the genre. It's a great time to be alive for survival horror aficionados. I will leave you with this, the trailer for Post Trauma, coming out on the 31st of March 2025, in case you're watching the video later. Looks really interesting. Don't have anything to say about it, haven't played it, but I am looking forward to it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It took a while to make. I really wanted to provide some value, suggesting games that you wouldn't have heard of. Of course, if you're digging into this stuff like I do, you might have caught a whiff of them, but nonetheless, if you enjoyed, subscribe, like, and please hit the notifications bell, because the way YouTube is structured now, it's very difficult for us to get our content out there. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!